Gentlemen, today we're giving you 10 tips that will catapult you into alpha territory and bring you closer to never chasing women again. We've talked about how to approach women as an alpha, but what if it were possible to turn the tables and get women approaching you? Well, today we're going to show you how. And because we want to make sure you don't do anything to interrupt your journey towards becoming an alpha, because it happens, we're also showing you the one thing to avoid doing as you morph into the alpha. All right, let's get into it. Number 10, don't fold. So here's the thing. In today's world, the expectations are high. Guys are feeling the pressure. They feel like they're expected to have brains like Sherlock, a sense of humor like Mr. Bean, a body like Superman, and money like Bill Gates. Well, maybe not Bill Gates, but you get the point. And while those are all great aspirations that guys should try to pursue to some degree, it's easy to get obsessive and start focusing too much on what you don't have, while forgetting what you do have and the things that make you a standout. And it's exactly that gets to the heart of what it means to be an alpha, and an unexpected quality that women will chase down: contentment. Number 9, sufficiency level, self. Want to know one quality that the alpha definitely doesn't have? Entitlement. And the reason why is because by definition, you can't be an alpha if you have to rely on others to succeed. But how exactly do women notice an appealing, self-reliant nature? After all, self-reliance is really just a mindset. And the thing about mindsets is that you can't really see them unless there's action and behavioral changes that reflect that mindset. Okay, the good news is that it's not hard to appear completely, totally alpha-level independent. Here's how you start. Guys who do the little things you hear about every day have a leg up. Staying groomed, wearing the right clothes, and staying in shape all easily convey a self-sufficiency that women can't ignore. On a bigger and slightly more philosophical scale, doing anything that allows you to forge your own path and make your own decisions is an undeniably attractive quality of alpha types that girls will always seek out. Number 8, change the game. Whether it's by constantly trying to show guys up or by knocking them down a peg, most guys who want to be alpha males do it all wrong by always trying to compete with other men. Now, we're not going to say that you shouldn't know how you measure up against the competition, because that's just human nature. And you can't get better if you don't really know what's good. But guys who are alpha males don't really dwell on how they compare to others. And they sure as heck don't have to make other people feel worse to feel better about themselves. And it's that mentality that girls, or anybody really, can't ignore. And the reason for that is because it shows what might be the most alpha quality of them all: security. By not playing the game that every other guy is playing, you get to show off restraint and an absence of the common insecurity most guys have, which are two things that instantly make any guy come off like a chase-worthy alpha male. Number 7, know what you know. True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. That's a quote from a thinking guy you may have heard of, Lil Pump. Just kidding, it's from Socrates. If you're among the 50% of people everywhere with average or above average intelligence, you're pretty smart. You're smarter than at least half the people out there, and that's pretty good. Now, if brains equaled alpha, we'd have a whole lot of unbeatable alphas outsmarting everybody at every turn. But we don't. So why is that? Because while intelligence can propel a guy into alpha status, it's not enough by itself. The missing ingredient? Humility. Obviously, intelligence is a desirable quality. There's no disputing that. Women love it, and everybody should try not to be a dummy. But intelligence plus humility is a rare combination that most smart guys aren't going to have. And it's that combination that puts a guy into true 90th percentile unicorn alpha status. So if you think you've got what it takes to be the smart alpha, know what you don't know. Take advice, accept criticism, keep an open mind, and admit when you should listen. You'll gain respect from everyone, have expertise coupled with real confidence, and have girls chasing you all over the place. Number 6, trust your gut. On the other side of the intelligence coin is the ability to know when to follow your instincts. Think about it for a second. When most people imagine an alpha, they probably think of a guy with good instincts. The ability to make quick decisions, act fast, and speak with assertiveness are all qualities that are not only valued in society, literally, but they're pretty irresistible to girls. Now, that doesn't mean you should just start winging it in everything you do. Making faster decisions that you can stick to takes practice, and the ability to do it well is only attainable through trial and error. So start small and keep the stakes low. Practice your decision-making abilities by dealing with the little negotiations you encounter every day. Choose what you want to eat, the movie you want to watch, or what you want to do that day. It might not seem like much, but this little bit of training will carry over into other parts of your life, and have the awesome, underappreciated side effect of putting girls in the hot seat by making them have to keep up with you. Hey guys, if you like our stuff, keep watching because we've got 5 more brand new tips on how to become the alpha male and never chase women again. And the one thing guys do to make them look like they don't know what they're doing. All right, let's get back into it. Number 5, own the conversation. Got some interest in becoming an alpha male? You can start by chipping away at one of the main weaknesses that holds alphas back, the need to please everyone during conversation. We may sometimes refer to this as the nice guy approach. Don't ruffle any feathers as you talk to people and you'll be okay. People will like you, especially girls. Except that's all wrong. If you want respect from others and if you want girls to look at you differently, you've got to put your neck out there in your conversations with them. And there are 2 reasons why this works. 1, you show that you're a normal person. 2, you show that you're confident. Even if they don't know how to respond at first, girls ultimately really like seeing that a guy has opinions of his own, or weird things to say, or whatever. Why? Because that's normal. Girls don't like guys who are oddly agreeable. Because really, what are the chances that you see eye to eye on everything? That mentality alone will be irresistibly refreshing to girls. And the confidence that comes with it? Well, that just seals the deal. And it's something that no non-alpha can ever fake. Number 4, be calm in the chaos. Here's another piece of alpha advice that will apply to both life and girls. As you go through life, people, including girls, will expect you to meet their panic or their sense of urgency. And at times, they'll be upset when you don't. Now, this can get you into trouble if you can't back up your calm demeanor with real action. If you can't also make things better, people will interpret your cool head as you freezing and folding under pressure. Just take a look at nature. The alpha lion in a pride is calm and quiet, indifferent to everything around him until there's a viable threat. It's only when that threat is viable that he becomes aggressive. It's the same for alpha males. Alphas don't make themselves loud and obnoxious to put on a show. The loudest one in the room is typically the weakest. He's after attention. To everyone who sees him, he's unable to be the leader. He's not up for it. He doesn't want to do it. Why? Because to lead, you've got to be able to keep your composure, even when people around you almost wish that you'd match their stress levels. Number 3, leverage language. Having girls chase you is sort of like the holy grail of approaching ability. Quite literally, your approach game is so strong that girls approach you. Now, before you think you've got to be rich or incredibly attractive to make this happen, think again, because there's one alpha skill that regularly beats out money or good looks: charisma. Charisma? Yep, charisma. All right, but how do you show girls you're charismatic? We're glad you asked. All charisma really is the ability to captivate an audience by nonverbal communication, which means it's something that everybody can get better at with a little practice. Nonverbal communication is important in this situation because, quite simply, a girl can't see how interesting you are through your words, but she can see how interesting you are through things like body language, facial expressions, or eye contact. So if you want to get a girl to not just look at you, but walk up to you and say hi, just start using your body to add emphasis to what you say. We guarantee that with a little practice, not only will you be the center of attention, but you'll also have girls wandering over in your direction in no time. Number 2, save some story. Looking to keep girls chasing you? Then you've got to always give them something to pursue. One thing that alpha males have is a continuous supply of intrigue. In other words, there always seems to be more than meets the eye to the alpha. Not only are they not boring, but they leave girls always wanting more. This is important because once a girl has you figured out, she gets used to you. And girls don't chase things they're used to. They don't need to know what normal is. So, to prevent that from happening, don't be the one who reveals everything about himself right at the beginning. Not only will it keep the interest flowing, but it will also show girls that you don't feel the need to sell yourself to them right off the bat. Looking for some other ways to flip the script and be chased by women? Check out this other video we did on that right here. Number 1, don't be a tourist. More than anything, being an alpha requires you to be real. And the opposite of being real is being a tourist in your own life. A tourist is just a visitor, someone who's posing, only there to enjoy the good parts while avoiding the challenges that build character and create real, undeniable alpha personality. You want to be an alpha? You gotta have some skin in the game. We guarantee that once you start taking risks and accepting consequences, you'll transform into the real, untouchable alpha guy that all girls want to be with. But Don't want to come across like a fake little alpha who's fooling no one? Stop telling people how much you win. A true alpha lets the winning speak for itself. He doesn't need to tell everyone that winning has occurred because people just know it. Telling everybody about how much you win shows two things, both of which are things no alpha does. Number one, telling everybody how much you win indicates that reality is difficult. And if it's surprising to you that reality isn't a walk in the park, can you really be an alpha? Alphas know that even after their victory, the work continues. Sure, it's okay to celebrate, but successes are rarely as simple as winning or not losing. Number two, the second reason why no real alpha will ever say they won is because losing doesn't even cross their mind. Okay, maybe losing does, but loss does not. Of course, games can be lost, or you might not prevail all the time. But when alphas don't win, they don't really care all that much. It's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of guys out there. But if you want to truly be the alpha, you've got to do it without telling anybody. Those are 10 tips on how to become an alpha male and get those girls chasing you. And while you're here, why not check out these other powerful videos? These two are perfect follow-ups